welcome to the class of 2022 graduation ceremony. Six years ago, I had the great pleasure of meeting this outstanding group of students who were in the 6th grade at C.E. Hanna at that time. 3 years later, I welcomed to Oxford High School as 9th graders. Tonight, we have the pleasure of celebrating them. I tell our students often that we cannot control the events that happen in our life, but we can control our response. The way we respond to things says a lot about who we are. Response is a big deal. The class of 2022 has certainly responded well. I am thankful that I am able to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. I am also thankful for your attendance. And for those who are unable to attend in person, the event will be live streamed as well as broadcasted live on radio by WVOK 97.9. We love celebrating our students, and this class has no shortage of things to celebrate. This is the class of students who are scientific and mathematical thinkers who solve real-world problems, analytical readers and writers, responsible citizens, leaders of their own learning, as well as state and national champions. We may not be able to control the events in our lives, but the class of 2022 has provided us with a great example of how to respond. They understand the difference between going through something and growing through something. At Oxford High School, here we grow. I look forward to celebrating them with you tonight. Go Big O. At this time, please stand for the national anthem, followed by fanfare and processional.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er
Parents and guests, you may be seated.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashley Paulson. On behalf of the class of 2022, we welcome everyone here this evening. We want to give our special thanks to all our parents and family members who have encouraged us and supported us all these years. We love you and thank you for everything you have done for us. We want to thank our administrators, faculty, and staff of Oxford High School. We sincerely appreciate all you have done for us and accomplished our high school goals and to help prepare us for our future endeavors. We also want to thank the City of Oxford and its governing members, along with the Oxford City Schools Administration and Board of Education for providing this great school for us and for all those students who will follow. We feel blessed to have been educated in this environment. Again, thank you all for joining us here this evening and for celebrating with us on this very special occasion.
Good evening. My name is Claire Jones, and I would like to introduce our special guests who are here with us this evening. First, I ask that all parents or guardians of the class of 2022 please stand. Join me in giving our parents a round of applause for supporting us all these years. As I call out the names of our special guests who are here with us this evening, please stand as your names are called. Oxford City Schools Administration, Dr. Shannon Stanley, Superintendent. Dr. Christy Shepard, Director of Human Resources. Eric Burridge, Director of Operations. Christy Goodwin, Special Education and Curriculum Advisor. Sharita Hayes, Instructional Supervisor. Marty Livingston, Transportation Supervisor. Sarah Brewer, Student Services Coordinator. Rhonda Perry, Instructional Supervisor. Laura Phillips, Instructional Supervisor. Marilyn Burke, Special Education Supervisor. Board members, Mr. Alex Davenport, President. Dr. Tony Bolton, Vice President. Mrs. Christy Humphreys, Mr. Marvin Jones, Mrs. Karen Phillips, Mr. Pat Wayne Shaddix. High School Administration, Heath M. Harmon, Principal. Ryan Barkley, Assistant Principal. Jenny Dothard, Assistant Principal. Joseph Gallagher, Assistant Principal. Brian McRae, Assistant Principal. Carla McDonald, Senior Counselor. Katie Norton, Junior Counselor. Ashley Holmes, Sophomore Counselor. Marcy Hall, Freshman Counselor. Larry Davidson, Athletic Director. Kia Garrett, School Nurse. Oxford City Schools Principals, Heath M. Harmon, Oxford High School. Michael Maniscalco, Oxford Middle School. Jordan Weathers, C.E. Hanna Elementary School. Claire Gamble, Oxford Elementary School. Amy Copeland, DeArmonville Elementary School. Dr. Catherine Finkley, Coldwater Elementary School. City officials, Mayor Alton Kraft, Mayor of Oxford. City Council members, Mr. Chris Sperlin, Council President. Mr. Phil Gardner, Mr. Mike Henderson, Mrs. Charlotte Hubbard, Mr. Stephen Waits. Mayor Alberta McCrory, Mayor of Hobson City. Hobson City Council members, Mr. Frederick Striplin, Vice Mayor. Mr. O'Mildred Ball, Miss Anita Jackson, Miss Susie Jones. We would also like to thank the OHS faculty and staff to please stand. Thank you for all being here this evening, for leading us, supporting us, and educating us throughout our school years.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me,
My name is Anna Abernathy, and I am the historian of the class of 2022. Before I get started, there are a few thanks I would like to give. First, I want to thank God for giving me all the opportunities to be here. Without His love and guidance, I know I wouldn't be where I am today. I am so excited for the next chapter of my life because I know He has big things in plan for me. I also want to thank every teacher, administrator, counselor, and coach that I have had over the last 13 years at Oxford City Schools. I want to give a very special thanks to people who are often overlooked. I want to thank all of the custodial staff, lunchroom staff, maintenance staff, and support staff. They have blessed us greatly for the last 13 years, and we wouldn't be where we are without them. On behalf of the class of 2022, I want to thank every single parent, grandparent, family member, and friend who has guided us to adulthood. I know, trust me, I know that at times it was hard. It was hard to steer us in the right direction and make sure that we were going to be good people. But I think that you guys did a wonderful job because here we are in front of you today. Please know that we offer our sincerest thanks because that is not by chance, and we thank you. Please join me in a round of applause for all of the adults in our life. Okay, now we can get to the part you've all been waiting for. I am so excited to get to tell you how the class of 2022 got from kindergarten to senior year. Most people would approach this by telling you all of our big events that happened. I want to tell you some of the lesser known events so that we can tell you just how we made it where we are today. Our story starts in August 2009. We were bright-eyed at the thought of going to big school. We soaked it all in. The reading carpets, the building blocks, the letters, the arts and crafts. This was the foundation of who we were going to be. Looking back now, those arts and crafts were very bad. But ultimately, some people found their passion at 5 years old. First grade came around, and the Anniston Museum of Natural History had a chocolate exhibit. So, of course, the first grade teachers at OES thought it would be a great idea to take all of these first graders to the chocolate exhibit. When we got there, they didn't give us any chocolate. We were very sad, and I think that's the first time my heart was broken. During second grade, our biggest worry was who was going to finish our rocket math sheets first. And boy, were we passionate about those sheets. We had some excitement in third grade. We went to the McWayne Science Center, and our 9-year-old minds were blown by that place. This came to a great surprise from our teachers because the kids who couldn't pay attention for 30 minutes of the multiplication table were focused for hours. In fourth grade, we were finally old enough to understand bits and pieces of the world, and we were finally the cool kids of elementary school. Going to C.E. Hannah for 5th and 6th grade was a different experience. Suddenly, our class of 100 turned into 300. The kids we grew up with weren't the kids in our classes, and the class schedule that we had known for the last 5 years was changed. Now we changed classes and had different teachers for different subjects. My most prominent memory from C.E. Hannah was when we were on our way home from a field trip and the wheel on the bus popped, and suddenly the wheels on the bus weren't going round and round. Bless our teachers for managing to get all of those 5th graders home with one less buzz. Now on to the good part, middle school. We were so excited to go to middle school because it meant we were one step closer to high school. We were finally able to dress out for athletics. We could join clubs and after-school activities, and we could pick some of our electives to fit our interests. Oxford Middle School did not just develop us as students, but as people, athletes, artists, and friends. We had our first 4 sports events, dates with friends, and honestly, the first taste of heartbreak and what we thought the real world was. Despite that, my favorite memory from high school was going to the Helen Keller play. If our teachers knew how we might react 4 years later, they might have chosen a different play to take us to. Starting high school didn't seem scary to us. Everything that we had worked towards for the last 9 years was finally here. We were finally at high school. The class of 2022 came into high school and excelled. We took freshman year by storm. We came in and scored great academically, performed athletically, and were very successful in the arts. We won most of the battle cries at the pep rallies. Because of all these things, the misery that was supposed to be freshman year was foreign to us. Sophomore year came around, and we just knew that this was going to be the year. We were choosing our academics and trying to find our future plans in the world. We were finally going to be able to drive. We were getting our braces off and losing our baby faces. Most importantly, we were making a difference where we were without trying to be anywhere else. Then COVID hit. But you know what? I don't think there is another group of kids who could have handled that as well as we did. And I'm not trying to boast, but we finally had our licenses, and then we couldn't go anywhere. But we did not let that stop us. We took the hits as they came and worked through them as eloquently as a group of 16 and 17-year-olds could. To this day, I'm impressed at how well we handled ourselves, and I know that our teachers and administration would agree. Junior year was different. All of our classmates that we had been with for the last 9 years were not there anymore. I don't want to highlight the struggles of the pandemic. I want to highlight some of our successes. We had a great football season that ended with dinners at Waffle House because that was the only thing open. We finally had breakfast with Santa again, and we loved being there with the community. Most of us tried out for our last years of sports, show choir, and band. We went to prom, and we looked good doing it. But then again, that's the thing, isn't it? We did it. Despite everything standing in our way, we did junior year, and we did it well. Senior year, the first year that we were all together and had a normal year since freshman year. By the time we got to our senior year, we didn't see each other as much because of our different schedules. The classes we do have, however, are the best classes that I've had at Oxford. It's not because of the content or the teachers, although they are great. It's because of the people and the way that we are so overjoyed to have made it to this point. Senior year has been great for so many different reasons. There are people who are excited because they're going to leave, people who are excited because they don't want to keep coming to school. We are excited for so many different reasons. I can confidently say that our senior class is one of the better classes to come out of Oxford. Not because we are better, not because anything else other than the fact that we struggled, we failed, we pushed, but we kept pushing, and we overcame, and we triumphed. I have absolute faith in the fact that we will do great things in our lives because we were raised by this community. No matter where this world takes us, and if we leave and never come back or make ourselves lifelong Oxford residents, one thing I'm confident in at this point in time, we are Oxford. When we started kindergarten in 2009, We couldn't have never imagined what the world would hold for us. But little did we know that that was the beginning of who we would be right now in this moment, 13 years later. With that being said, may God bless us and protect us all during our next journeys in life. Thank you, and go Big O.
Good evening. I'm Emily Parrish, Salutatorian of the class of 22. Leaving high school and going out into the world is never an easy process, but I believe the class of 2022 is better prepared for it than any other graduating class. Over the past 2 years, our worlds have completely and repeatedly changed. We have been pushed and challenged like few classes before us. We lost a lot. Our high school experience was nothing like what we could have ever imagined. The surprises began with our sophomore year being abruptly cut short. It continued with several months of online classes, followed by a year of hybrid AB class rotations where we were working both from school and home. This year, our normal year, was disrupted by pandemic spikes in August and January. It was physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausting. There were many days when it felt almost impossible to move forward, but we are each here today because we kept pushing and moving forward. The past few years have taught us a lot. They have certainly taught us how to persevere and work through difficult situations, but they have also taught us the importance of knowing when to ask for help. If you are anything like me, then asking for help is difficult. Oftentimes, people act as though asking for help is a sign of weakness, even when you truly need it. My own experiences over the past few years have proven the opposite to be true. The support I received from seeking help from those close to me allowed me to create a sturdy foundation to stand on rather than one that was crumbling. As if the challenges of the outside world were not enough, each of us silently dealt with our own internal struggles as well. As some of you know, my mom was diagnosed with cancer on her 40th birthday, which also happened to be the summer of 2022. Balancing my concern for her as her cancer progressed, along with everything else that the past 2 years has entailed, was overwhelming to say the least. My mom is without a doubt the strongest person I've ever met, and she and my dad have always been my biggest supporters. I am so thankful for them and love them, but even knowing they were supportive, I kept my internal struggles silent. By doing this, I inadvertently made an already difficult situation worse for myself. When I finally worked up the courage to tell anyone how bad I was struggling, I was met with overwhelming support from friends, family, and teachers. I am endlessly thankful for the care and support everyone has shown me and my family through this, as well as the rest of my high school career. Knowing the students sitting on the field today, we have all at some point over the past 4 years had to reach out and ask for help, not in weakness, but in rather recognizing that having the strength to build a sound foundation takes support. We have all had our battles to face in order to be where we are. The struggle could have been in school itself, family issues, mental health, financial stress, or a combination of any other number of issues. We all, at some point over the past 4 years, reached the point where our foundation was cracked. But what we need to remember is the ability we gain to repair those cracks that will allow us to create firmer foundations to build our future lives upon. Whatever it was that cracked your foundation, I am endlessly proud of all that you have accomplished. Now it is time to reflect, regroup, and heal as we move forward. As we all transition from high school to whatever comes next, there are bound to be difficult times. There will be many moments when we don't know quite what to do. There will be challenges that feel impossible to overcome, but the confusion and anxiety of overcoming the seemingly impossible is something we have already faced head-on and worked past. We have all proven that when it really matters to us and it is really time to work towards our goals, we can be surprisingly tenacious. Never forget that tenacity, and never forget that a good foundation can make all the difference in the world. You have worked hard to build that foundation. Now it's time to keep moving forward and start building our future. Congratulations to the class of 2022.
Good evening. My name is Cloie Dale, Valedictorian of the class of 2022. I would like to begin tonight by thanking all the families here this evening that have supported us on our journey, as well as everyone who has become like family through their love and support over the years. I would also like to thank several specific members of the faculty. Thank you to Mr. Moore for always pushing me to do things that were outside of my comfort zone. Thank you to Miss Mintz for always being willing to support my dreams and challenge me. Thank you to Miss Singleton for pushing me to be my best and believing in me when I did not believe in myself. And thank you to the many others who have made an unmistakable impact on my life as well as those students seated behind me. Most importantly, I would like to congratulate the class of 2022 tonight. Tonight is a huge milestone and accomplishment for all of us. Our graduating class was presented with circumstances that no one could have predicted that forced us to take control of our own education to succeed, and that's exactly what we did. Tonight, we will officially move into the next part of our lives, with many of us heading to colleges, stepping into jobs or careers, and setting out to discover ourselves. This is an exciting time for all of us. But with the start of this new adventure comes the fear and uncertainty that often accompanies excitement. It is this fear that will be our greatest enemy. The fear of the unknown, the fear of being unworthy, the fear of failure. These are our deepest insecurities trying to take control of us before we can harness the confidence to move forward. In order to take those first steps forward, we must have the courage to navigate through that fear. As Carrie Fisher once said, stay afraid but do it anyway. What's important is the action. You don't have to be confident. Just do it, and eventually the confidence will follow. Knowing what you want your future to look like and taking the steps to achieve it is the important part. You might not believe you deserve to be accepted into your dream school, or get your perfect job, or find your forever person. But if you don't take the first steps and act, you will never prove yourself wrong, and you will be stuck believing that you are less than who you truly are. And action is risky. Acting on your goals means that you have to be vulnerable. Vulnerable to the possibility of failure, vulnerable to rejection, and vulnerable to the judgment of others. But without action, success is hard to come by. In the words of William Shakespeare, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. And while it is entirely possible that you were born great, or that the right set of circumstances will fall into your lap, it is far more likely you will have to create your own greatness. Greatness comes in all shapes and sizes, and simply boils down to finding a way to better yourself and the world around you. Because it's not measured in fame or money, but by your character. Vincent van Gogh once said, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." These actions will make a difference in the lives of others every day and lead to a lifetime of greatness. Actively striving to leave a positive impact behind you every day through small acts of kindness, love, and respect will have a monumental impact on the world around you. If you've ever seen a movie with time travel in it, you are probably familiar with the idea of the butterfly effect. The concept that everything and anything, even the most seemingly insignificant detail, is important to keep the future intact. When you view your life through this lens, your impact on the world becomes clear and almost daunting. The smallest of actions from you can completely shift your lives and the lives of those around you, now and in the future. Warren Buffett once said, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." So even if it appears that you are doing nothing to affect the world and leaving no impact, something that you will do today will have an effect on the future. Class of 2022, now is the time for you to reflect on your time at Oxford High School and decide what your future will look like. Not just for yourself and your own success, but for the betterment of others. What impact have you had? What do you want out of your life? And how are you going to get there? No matter how you answer these questions, there is a sea of endless possibility spread out before you tonight, and only you can decide where it will take you. The keys are not to let the fear overtake you before you have the opportunity to start. Build your confidence through small action, and remember that true leadership, true greatness is not self-centered, but relies on building up those surrounding you. We have the power to shape the world we live in, so why don't we start tonight? Thank you and congratulations, class of 2022.
Top 25 Honors Scholars: Cloie Danielle Dale, Academy of Engineering Technologies. Emily Nicole Parrish, Academy of Health Science. Anna Dial Abernathy, Academy of Health Science. Lindley Claire Jones, Academy of Health Science. Ashley Nicole Paulson, Academy of Education and Training. Ella Nicole Wilson, Academy of Health Science. Kalia Bailey Taylor, Academy of Business Technologies. Deval Moore, Academy of Engineering Technologies. Kaylee Brooke Patterson, Academy of Health Science. Mary Alexandra Monroe, Academy of Health Science. Olivia LaRue Armstrong, Academy of Business Technologies. Robert Kyle Pilkington, Academy of Digital Arts, Audio Visual Technology, and Communications. Anna Caroline Tapley, Academy of Health Science. Juan Manuel Martinez Alvarado, Academy of Engineering Technologies. Megan Elizabeth Warhurst, Academy of Fine Arts and Languages Technologies. Lauren K. Ellard, Academy of Health Science. Nicholas Lee Cox, Academy of Engineering Technologies. Aaron David McFarland, Academy of Health Science. Cadence Randy Hawkins, Academy of Fine Arts and Languages Technologies. Madison Brooks Sprayberry, Academy of Health Science. Anna Elizabeth Lewis, Academy of Health Science. Kara Alexis King, Academy of Health Science. Adriana Trenice Foster, Academy of Business Technologies. Alex Martinez Reyes, Academy of Health Science. Anna Hope Lockridge, Academy of Education and Training. Academy of Business Technologies, Distinguished Scholars. Brody Ray Sewell. Nathan David Carr. Audrey Nicole Anderson. Aviante Takira Barclay. Paola Becerra Ruedas. Neidra Tashay Beck. Nadeja Monray Beck. Jeremiah Allen Bill. Kylie Nicole Biddle. Eric Anthony Booth Jr. Reagan Dawn Cobb. Gavin Alexander Cochran. Jaquise Alexander Davis. John Connor Denny. Jordan Tremaine Dobbins. Richard Adam Fox. Caitlin Brooke Frazier. Blakely Hope Freeman. Zarel Zidell Garrett. Kara Nicole Galden. Hannah Lynn Hankerson. Chloe Lakin Harris. Asia Janae Hurd. Carlos Eduardo Hernandez. Cheyenne Alexis Holt. Dalton Dwayne Hudgens. Deasia Armani Jackson. Blake Allen Johnson. Haley Cherie Jones. Kaylee Alexis Kaidelin Critlow. Kaylee Janae Louise LaPlante. Hassan Elijah Lawson. Sergio Ángel Luevano Alemán. Janaya Cornesia Marbury. Dakota Seth Martin. Jacob Carlton McFarland. Michael Ladarius McGraw. Nicholas Tyler Merriweather. Patrick Wesley Miller. Asia Muhammad. Christopher Daniel Nava Cardenas. Ngang Wan Win. Carice Damel Nolan. Joseph Cole Painter. Ariana Lachey Chantrell Parker. Zymir Kentrell Marquevis Parker. David Blake Ray. Brian Allen Rivas. Madison Lee Scott. Savion Gervais Simmons. Antonia Michon Simon. Christiana LaShawn Simon. Donovan Heath Smith. Aja Iree Taylor. Devin Kyle Taylor. Nia Jacole Twyman. Jose Antonio Orosa Gonzalez. Shanad Daquan Whitfield. Jakayla Mayana Latanya Williams. Malaysia Nicole Williams. Raven Chantel Wright. Nicholas Lamont Young. Jaden May Zier. Academy of Digital Arts, Audiovisual Technology, and Communications. Distinguished Scholars. Hunter Allen Moore. De'Aaron Latrell McGee. William Scott Hamilton. Jakayla Lachey Matthews. Avalon Demirio Bush. Noah Alton Caldwell. Justin McLean Dempsey. Alyssa Zane Free. Colin Walker Goff. Christopher Marshall Hall. Gretchen Abigail Harrell. Rodrigo Gonzalez Hernandez. Amarian Milan Jackson. Zacchaeus Datron Johnson. Terry Donata Mosley. Layla Elise Reynolds. Ashanti Nicole Marie Ruffin. Garrett Ray Sprayberry. Jordan Antonio Stevens. Koi Min Vu. JaCameron Tyree Walker. Natalie Jo Warrington. Academy of Education and Training, Distinguished Scholars, Rylan Pierce Hauk, Riley Catherine Bass, Luke Nathan Turley, Laurel Ashton Clark, Madeline Brooke Moore, Kayla Madison Pruitt, Lacey Paulette Rowe, Madison Paige Sparks, Isabel Naomi Strickland, Academy of Engineering Technologies, Distinguished Scholar, Miguel Aiden Mitchell, Christopher Alvarez, Sawyer Kyle Bentley, Christopher Dale Brown II, Aiden Robert Bruce, Devontre Latrell Butts, Anton Thomas Carroll, Samuel Douglas Curley, Ethan Tate Gregory, Nicholas Uriel Gutierrez, John Gabriel Herndon, Dylan Jordan Huff, Brighton Lee Husk, Jadarian O'Neill Jones, Braden Paul Kellum, Landon Christopher Kennedy, Alexis Brian Marcel Hernandez, McKinley Alana Mata, Gavin Dakota Mosley, Christopher Roland Pirelli, Peyton Michael Paul Ratliff, Alex Reyes Romero, Nikolai Markovich Ryder, Gerardo Rios Reyes, Jonathan Wesley Robinson, Samuel Henry Robison, Andrew Michael Smith, Parker Brandon Smith, Thomas William Teeple Jr., Dylan Seth Wiggins, Isaiah Rashad Wilson, Kyler Braxton Wright, Academy of Fine Arts and Languages, Distinguished Scholars, Tori Ann Williams, Madison Sue Wiley, Anthony Ward Calloway, Catherine Idanya Avales, Lily Jean Becky, Haley Michelle Black, Jonathan Marshall Blankenship, Mackenzie Lee Bonds, Mary Elizabeth Butler, Andrew Thayer Castaneda, Lillian Renee Craven. Brandon Grant Edwards. Tristan Shane Edwards. Dylan Scott Goodson. Michaela Janae Hale. Aiden Thomas Hayworth. Kasia Marie Klein. Serena Grace Marable. Tan Hung Win. Gael Savas Paredes. Tasia Marcella Phillips. Anna Maria Lynn Pruitt. Joey Nicholas Rochester. Gracelyn Elizabeth Roney. Peyton Bradley Scroggins. Ariana Leanne Swain. Sierra Grace Diane Weekly. Akaya Janera Williams. Justin Tyler Willis. Academy of Industrial and Commercial Technologies. Distinguished Scholars. Christopher Martinez Barrios. Timothy Hayden Mayfield. Jalen Turner. Christopher Luke Milstead. Yair Rodriguez Delgado. Jacob Joseph Burns. William Chase Crenshaw. Braxley Wayne Finley. Chance Stephen Allen Griner. Jasper Macon Holcomb. Dylan Jacob Lackey. Rafael Leon. Tanner Ryan Porter. Jamal Christian Reddick. Trenton Wayne Roberts. Caleb Andrew Tidwell. Luis Miguel Timms Becerra. Academy of Health Science Technologies. Cameron Boyd Bearden. Jonathan Kobe Bonner. Coley Sky Boone. Ariana Latrice Brooks. Blakely Brianne Bergdorfer. Zelda Chani Elaine Bushy. Michael Christian Cairo. Taylor Mackenzie Cannington. Zoe Mae Carroll. Akira Janae Cochran. Madison Kate Connor. Cynthia Cruz Hernandez. Claire Olivia Dale. Jessica de la Cruz. Victoria Hope Ellison. Caden Jeremy Fell. Amaya Marie Garrett. Reagan Marie Guillory. Zakiria Charvet Hawkins. Kinsley Elisa Humphreys. Kaya Marie Jackson. Kari Janae Johnson. Chloe Marie Jones. Jesselyn Michelle Kelly. Kylie Marie Kiker. Jada Dinesha Kirksey. Ashley Myra Lamb. Chance Jabari Lemons. Wendy Maria Lopez Gaspar. Paola Alexandra Luis Rosales. Brooklyn Hope Maddox. Anna Grace Marlowe. Isabella Day Martin. De'Ara Shanice Mall. Kaylee Brianna Maccabee. Cynthia Monasterio Hernandez. Kinsley Grace Nunn. Mackenzie Grace Phillips. Cecilia Isela Pierce. Abigail Elizabeth Reimer. Caroline Grace Rogers. Alana Tierra Scott. Caleb Gregory Shelton. Mary Abigail Schultz. Haley Alexis Smallwood. Kenley Blake Sparks. Lauren Brooks Steele. Skylar Deline Sword. Deanna Kennedy Ulmer. Savannah Bell Watts. Grayson Allen Whitley. Michael Ryan Whitley. Liam Connor Willis. Micaiah Chanel Wilson.
Please stand for the Oxford High School Alma Mater.
To
Stay standing, stay standing. Stay the most important part. This is the most important part. By the power vested in me by the great state of Alabama and Oxford City Schools, I now pronounce you graduates of Oxford High School. There's supposed to be champion. Yep, we're good. Parents and guests, thank you for your attendance. Please use caution and be safe as you exit. Go Big O.